The Steet Pawnee Auto Group in Herkimer and Yorkville and Turnbull Insurance Service since 1866 present Mohawk Valley Living, exploring the arts, culture, and heritage of our region. A special good morning to Emily and Joe of Utica, celebrating their 10th anniversary.
Good morning and welcome to Mohawk Valley Living. We are here at the back of the barn Antiques on Route 12, and we're headed north to Forestport, so stay tuned.
It was the boom town around here when Gillette stepped off that train. Canals flowing, hops growing, new towns being raised. There were fortunes to be made. He was a well-dressed one-man show, a tail spinner, a heart winner with a lusty ego.
Pick up the September issue of Mohawk Valley Living magazine, featuring the last chapter of Peggy's Our First Year in Coldbrook, Matt Perry's nature article, an interview with musician Kayla McMahon, a new MV crossword puzzle, artist Tim Rand, and much more in the new issue of Mohawk Valley Living magazine. Available for free at over 200 local mom-and-pop stores and restaurants. And always available online to view or download at mohawkvalleyliving.com.
They traveled forth on a train headed north. In Utica they spent the day. No wayward homes to stay, with trouble along the way. And it was a shocking gloom town for grace.
The Steet Pawnee Auto Group is proud to bring Mohawk Valley Living to you each week, serving the Utica area and the Valley with outstanding customer service. In Yorkville at Steet Pawnee Ford Lincoln Mazda, Steet Pawnee Volkswagen, and Steet Toyota Scion. And in Herkimer at Steet Pawnee Chevrolet. Stop in and see why it's so easy to do business with Steet Pawnee. You go the extra mile for your small business and should expect the same from your insurance company. For over 140 years, Turnbull Insurance Service has been committed to local small business. For your commercial coverage, turn to the company ready to go that extra mile. Turn to Turnbull.
I love Mohawk Valley Living.
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 Have a big adventure in Little Falls. Visit Canal Harbor and Rotary Park, rent a kayak and paddle along the Mohawk River and Canal. Catch the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs in action. Discover Lock 17 and explore the geological wonder Moss Island. Plan your big adventure in Little Falls.
Few places bring the past and present together like the Farmers Museum in Cooperstown. Recently named one of the top 10 places where history comes to life by Good Morning America. Each weekend, costumed actors portray 19th century characters. Learn from knowledgeable interpreters. Ride the Empire State Carousel. Visit animals on the working farm.
There's fun for the whole family.
Step back in time at the Farmers Museum in Cooperstown, New York.
Melrose Supermarket is your family hometown market, known for their choice hand-cut meats, homemade breads, and fresh pastas and salads. Check out the weekly specials at Melrose Supermarket, East Main Street in Frankfort. Design it your way at Adirondack Furniture. Whether you're looking for furniture for your bedroom, living room, or dining room, you get to choose your style, wood type, finish, fabric, and hardware. American Made gives you the freedom of choice. Shop Adirondack Furniture for the best quality and price for solid wood furniture made in the USA. Ask about 0% financing and free delivery. Adirondack Furniture, Riverside Center, North Utica, and online at AdirondackHomeFurniture.com.
Her name was Loretta, I should have known better, but I fell for her love anyway. We got together because of a letter that she sent.
Special thanks to Turnbull Insurance Service and Mark and Jim Turnbull. Their continued support makes the show possible. We're heading north again this week to Forestport. On our way up Route 12 in Barneveld, we stop into a place we've passed by dozens of times before. From the Forest is a shop overflowing with the works of over 50 local artists and craftspeople, including the sculptures of the shop's owner, John Vincent, a professional chainsaw carver.
Well, I saw it done. I was unemployed at the time, helping a friend make rustic furniture, and a woman come to the shop and started carving, and I was absolutely amazed by it. And ever since then, I tried it, made a little bit of money at it at first, and then that's all it took. I've been nonstop now for 6 years. I've always been interested. Never really thought I could make money at it because I was always just considered a mediocre artist, up until I started sculpting, and that's where I found my passion, basically. It's easier for me to sculpt than it is to say, draw, put together. I can take away, instead of how most art is done is putting it together. I'm backwards. I like doing birds, owls, eagles, pretty much anything, any bird. I love doing birds, actually. Herons, swampland animals and stuff like that. But I'm not limited to that. I can carve anything. Well, I have a barbecue that I'm working for. They commissioned it to me to do a large pig and a large cow. I got an oversized pig. Right now he stands 4 foot tall and he's like 6 foot long. The cow has to be in proportion to the pig, so it's got to be bigger than life size cow. That's the next order. Yeah, it's.
So you get a lot of commission work, is it?
I do mostly commissions. Yeah, yeah. I've developed a reputation for being able to do most anything. Mostly people's pets or portraits of their pets, dogs mostly. I'm working on a cat portrait right now. But yeah, mostly wildlife and it's not like work. It's not work at all. I enjoy doing it, every bit of it. Eat, sleep, carving. It's nonstop.
From the Forest is located at 8140 Route 12 in Barneveld. It is open every day except for Tuesdays at 10 a.m. and online at artfromtheforest.com and on Facebook.
Down by the road just a little ways, that's where we all used to play. Moss-covered rocks, water that's freezing, warm summer breeze, it sure is pleasing. Sun shining through the white birch trees, we're just doing as we please.
Another place we've passed by for years is the Forestport Boat Company. We decided to finally find out what exactly they do here. Parker and Joan Sneed are passionate about boating. So much so that when they're not on the water, they still spend most of their time on boats, preserving and restoring classic and special interest vessels.
My family had a camp at Lake Onondaga, which is up the road from here since the turn of the century, and I grew up with these boats. And when Joan and I quit running yachts and doing my Coast Guard activities, we wanted to use camp more, and we wanted to set up a seasonal enterprise close to camp. It just didn't turn out to be a seasonal enterprise. It turned out to be a year-round enterprise. And we've been doing it for about 30 years here. We buy, sell, trade, and restore classic mahogany runabouts like this one here, and special interest inboard boats like the Century Coronado that you may have seen out there. And we do them to customer specifications. They can order the materials, the colors, the accessories, as though they were ordering them from the factory. And we've sold boats to country western singer Alan Jackson, other people. They seek us out. We're a special interest company. We're kind of an internet company. Joni has done principally all the refinishing here at our company for the 30 years. She's a master at it. She understands tone, coloring. A lot of times we put in a new plank. The woods aren't the same as the woods that came out, but Joan knows how to make it. We try to pick a similar grain as best we can, but Joan knows how to do the tone and color where you don't see those planks. That's a very labor-intensive act of love for boats, but satisfaction in art too. When you create a product like this, each one, you're proud of it. When it goes out in the world, you're very proud of it. It's an artistic thing as well, and we really enjoy that part of it.
Another place you can't miss is the Wigwam Tavern on Route 28 in North Forestport. A plane crashed on the airstrip behind the tavern back in the 1970s. And while the original owners were away, the locals mounted the tail on the roof. It is now a local attraction and a destination for homemade soups, their popular Wednesday wing night, and if you're lucky, you might just be there when Red shows up with his homemade cheesecake.
I think the food has a lot to do with it, plus a good atmosphere we have with all these people. This place has been around longer than I know, probably like 40 to 50 years, or if not longer. We do great wings, all our sauces, we make them right here. The soups are homemade. We have a great seafood chowder on Friday that is fabulous. Our burgers, everything. It's pretty much really good. I've been here 10 years. What was the question?
Why do you like it?
I love it. This is what I always wanted to do, bartend. And then I got stuck in the kitchen, so I cook, bartend, and I have to clean up all these dishes, which is fine. I love it. I love it.
The Wigwam Tavern is open every day for lunch and dinner till 2 a.m. Wednesday is wing night with their famous variety of wings, only 45 cents each. It is located on Route 28, north of the hamlet of Forestport. Don't forget that today in Forestport Station from noon to 6 is the Backyard Vittles and Fiddles, featuring the Dire Switch Bluegrass Band at the Station Country Store. Bring a lawn chair and enjoy food, music, and beer tasting under the tent. That's today in Forestport Station.
I'm making this really my own.
When planning your family's future, turn to the principles of the past. Turn to Turnbull. Turnbull Insurance Service is an independent agency representing the most dependable companies for all your insurance needs, as well as complete financial planning and wealth management. Call today for a free assessment. Do you see the glass as half full? Then read the positive news from Central New York every day at uticarocks.com. Whether you're looking to sell or buy your first home, retirement property, farm, or lake house, call River Hills Properties. Agents look forward to meeting with you to present a personalized plan. River Hills Properties, bringing you home. Call 896-1009. Look and feel amazing at the graduation, tea, or garden party in a fun, comfortable dress from the Village Crossing. Check out the fabulous summer fashion in Clinton.
Hi, Dr. Tom. Bringing your cat to the Paris Hill Cat Hospital on Sundays is a part of Mohawk Valley Living. Come inside and see why.
Paris Hill Cat Hospital, this is Lindsay. How can I help you? Hello, Mrs. Cole. Your cat is losing weight and you need an appointment? And you're only available on weekends. Sure, I have an available appointment with Dr. Karen Sunday at 2 p.m. Does that fit into your schedule? Okay.
We're open 7 days a week because we know that your cat can become ill anytime. The Paris Hill Cat Hospital, quality care for your cats and kittens.
I, R.A. Dudrak, the Window King, invite you to visit our showroom in Holland Patent, or we'll come to your home by appointment. We've been installing replacement windows for over 45 years. Keep your palace cool in the summer and warm in the winter by adding new windows. Many styles and selections to choose from. Bay, bow, garden, and double hung, single hung, and slider windows. The Window King also introduces color replacement windows. So take a short drive to R.A. Dudrak, Holland Patent, and tell them the Window King sent you.
Expecting company? Just call Deansboro Superette. They prepare delicious Middle Eastern platters for any number of guests. Call 841-4377. North Star Orchards is open for the season. The greenhouse is full of potted plants, annuals, and vegetables, and outside you'll find perennials, trees, shrubs, and topsoil. The bakery's open too, with fresh pies, cookies, breads, and muffins at North Star Orchards, Route 233, Westmoreland. In the mid-1800s, this logging community's businesses and saloons were flourishing during the heyday of New York's canal system. Today it is a bit quieter, but the locals seem to like it just the way it is.
Here we are at the Forestport Town Hall. This used to be the Forestport Central School, and it has entrances, separate ones for girls and for boys on the other side. But I figured that this being the 21st century and with equal rights and all that, there'd be no problem with going in the girls' entrance today, so that's what I'm going to do.
To see what we can see.
Throughout throughout our travels in the Mohawk Valley, we've come across more than one-room schoolhouse. Here in Forestport, there is what we think might be one of the very first central schools. It was the Forestport Central School. I'm standing in front of it right now. Once inside the school, I can tell you that there were all kinds of memories that came back for me, because there are blackboards in there, the old slate blackboards that when you write in them, you can make the noise with the chalk. There's wood all over the place. And I went into one room and I was in there for just 1 second, and I knew I was in the principal's office. It was almost like going back into the 1940s for myself. And come up here yourself and take a look at what an old-fashioned central school is like. It's open to the public just about every day of the week. Because the building has been kept in pretty much its original condition, there's an application right now to have it placed on the National Historic Register.
It may be a stranger who helps you when you're in need, or a friend who's always there.
By the late 1800s, the canal system was deteriorating. The money allocated for canal improvements led to a conspiracy that involved nearly every family in Forestport. This conspiracy leads us to scooters.
Someone told me that the conspiracy might have started here. Is that true?
Oh, it definitely started here, right upstairs, right by the stovepipe. Actually, the Doyle family, with some people from Forestport, decided to sabotage the dam, because when the dam broke the first time, 1,200 people came to town to fix it. And when they all left, people sat around and said, gee, how can we get more people? The businesses thrive, the saloons, the liveries. So they decided to conspire to break the dam again. And they actually did it 2 more times before the Pinkerton detectives came to town to try to figure it all out. And I guess it probably wasn't a good thing, but it did bring business to Forestport and the towpath, which of course is an integral part of this town.
Last fall, Jeannie spearheaded an event called Old Forestport Days to celebrate the arrival of the North Country National Scenic Trail and to capture the spirit and shenanigans of Forestport. Jeannie asked local songwriter Lori Thompson to write a song about the infamous conspiracy.
Stan Paulo plays bluegrass, contemporary, a little bit traditional songs that I wrote too. Well, Jeannie Walcott called me up over the spring last year, and she asked if we would come and perform at her show, and if maybe I would write a song, because she knew that I wrote songs about the historical aspects of Oneida County.
Let's go down to Forestport where the Black River flows. We'll have a drink to the States Canal and the secrets that it holds. Forestport was a lumber town with mills and tanneries. It prospered when the canal was big, but the railroad brought a change. The canals weren't what they used to be. Profit margins were down. Prospered when...
At Scooters, the line between band and audience sometimes gets blurry. The Steet Ponte Auto Group is proud to bring Mohawk Valley Living to you each week, serving the Utica area and the Valley with outstanding customer service. In Yorkville at Steet Ponte Ford Lincoln Mazda, Steet Ponte Volkswagen, and Steet Toyota Scion. And in Herkimer at Steet Ponte Chevrolet. Stop in and see why it's so easy to do business with Steet Ponte. Visit Brenda's Natural Foods in their brand new, bigger location, right down the street at 236 West Dominic Street in Rome. Brenda's Natural Foods, something good and a lot of it.
Hi, welcome to the Little Falls Antique Center in the shops at 25 West. We have 2 full floors with 50 vendors of interesting and unique products ranging from specialized to very eclectic, primitive to the not so primitive. Remember, shop local, we're worth the trip.
Call Yannick Excavating for all your residential and commercial projects, from new construction and land clearing to septic systems, driveways, basements, ponds, and topsoil. Visit yannickexcavating.com.
Few places bring the past and present together like the Farmers Museum in Cooperstown. Recently named one of the top 10 places where history comes to life by Good Morning America. Each weekend, costumed actors portray 19th century characters. Learn from knowledgeable interpreters. Ride the Empire State Carousel. Visit animals on the working farm.
There's fun for the whole family.
Step back in time at the Farmers Museum in Cooperstown, New York.
When you shop Mealan's Market, you'll be the grill master. That's because every hot dog, beef patty, and sausage is made by Bob Mealan himself. Find everything for your next cookout, from store-made meats to fresh salads and tabbouleh, at Mealan's Market at the Four Corners in Clark Mills. That special art, photograph, or memorabilia deserves a special frame. Oscars creates one-of-a-kind gold and silver leaf mirrors and frames. Oscars Picture Framing, 12 Kellogg Road, New Hartford. Tom's Natural Foods is your connection to local farms for natural and organic fruits and vegetables, meats, eggs, cheeses, and other milk products. At Tom's Natural Foods in Clinton, naturally.
As with other towns in the Mohawk Valley, the town of Forestport has its own library. It's not called the Forestport Library, it's called the Woodgate Free Library. And this library is truly free because they don't have any late fees. Of course, the reason for that, I'm told, is that nobody in Forestport is late bringing their books back.
Another key ingredient to a good road trip is the local historian.
Originally, Forestport started as part of the Remsen Borough patent and separated from Remsen in 1870 and became the town of Forestport at that time, celebrated its centennial in 1970. The main manufacturing at that time was logging, and the development of the logging industry required the name change from what was known as Punkyville, named after that pesky little insect in the spring, to Forestport. Became a port that transported logs from North Lake along the Black River, and also needed the development of a waterway, a canal system, to feed to the Erie Canal to move merchandise from the North Country into the Erie Canal system, and therefore the development of the Black River Feeder Canal. And that's how Forestport grew. It was a logging community and then went into a transport community of the products of the North Country.
Now that we know about their legitimate occupations, what about the conspiracy? We know our viewers love a good conspiracy.
There is a conspiracy theory, if actually a little more than a theory, that Michael Doyle, he's a local author, presented in his book Forestport Breaks. And Michael was a descendant of the owners of Hotel Doyle, which is now known as Scooters on Main Street and River Street in Forestport. And a lot of the people who constructed the canal project wanted their work to continue. So there were some explosions late at night and some other events occurred, and I believe even some arrests after the event, but it continued the canal building project a little longer than it was anticipated, and it was to generate more work for the people that were building the canal.
One of the most famous people here in the area lived in Forestport, and that was Bill Sears. He was a senator. Actually, he lived here in Woodgate, and it was Senator Sears who did much to contribute to the library, and he was one of its leading patrons.
I think I lost it going your way, so I cried. The winds of wind. It's alright, it makes you feel alright. Because we ain't got no other reason why we fight.
The Mohawk Valley Center for the Arts in Little Falls presents Local Arts. Right here in the Mohawk Valley in Yorkville is America's oldest manufacturer of Tiffany lamps and decorative lighting. After 8 months of designing and planning, Maida Tiffany is home to the world's largest free-hanging chandelier. Crafted of steel, glass, and acrylic and weighing in at over 3 tons, its final home will be gracing the ceiling of the Stanley Performing Arts Center.
From the time that I was a little child and would walk into the Stanley Theater, sit down and watch an old Western movie, I would sit in that theater and look around at the most unbelievable structure of the stage, the walls, the artwork, but there was always something that caught my curiosity, namely what was ever going to go up into that area at the top. It looked to me like there should be a chandelier there. That was some 60 or more years ago, and there never was one. Well, pretty soon, within the next month or two, there is going to be a chandelier there, And it is going to be something that was designed right here in Utica. It was built right here in Utica at MITA. I'm standing next to it now. We're going to give you a peek at it, and I'm telling you it lives up to my expectations, and I know that it's going to live up to the expectations of everybody else who steps foot in the Stanley Theater after April. Today we are going to give you a sneak peek at a chandelier that is the largest of its kind in the world. It's going to be available for public viewing pretty soon, and it's just absolutely incredible. One more thing to add to the history of the Mohawk Valley and to its culture, you name it. This is really something.
First step was to send our designer Nancy Parker to the Stanley. She walked through it and she looked at all the different the design details that were in the Stanley, the wallpaper, the carpeting, all of the molding, the decorative plaster molding all over all the Stanley, and all of the architectural details. And she looked at all of that, and she absorbed it, and she came back to her desk and she started playing with her dogs that she brings to work with her, and she started looking out the window, and then she started doodling a few sketches on a piece of paper. I said, Nancy, what are you doing? When are you going to design that Stanley chandelier? She says, I'm thinking about it. And a day or two later, she comes up with this little paper doll that she cut out, walking around with it like she always does. Says, I think I got an idea. I think I got an idea. And then the next thing you know, she gives the idea to Tony, who takes it and breathes the life into it that it needs to get digitized and cut from our plasma cutting equipment, our metal cutting equipment. Santucci, the great Santucci. Sometimes we refer to him as Spartacus.
Yes.
We actually heard about this about a year after I got here, and they asked us to come and look at the Stanley, and we did. And we had some ideas, and then it was quiet till last year. Oh, we went into Stanley, and we took pictures and sketches, and we just brainstormed for probably a few months till we came up with a size and a feel that was right. Because I'm born and raised in Utica, and been going to Stanley since I was a little kid. It's really great.
The show must go on, and there's still work to be done before April, when this magnificent chandelier is presented to the world.
Young and free, but my troubles got me.
What it is singing. Honey, honey, I got to know you. Ain't got no money, but I got plenty to show you. Honey, honey, meet me on the river road. Chichi Raposo got a head like a beam. He steers a T-bird like you never seen. Picks up the young ones